Hello，大家好啊！今次賽事嚟到4月10號跑禮拜日嘅沙田日馬。今次嘅心水影片個安排方面就會比較特別啲嘅。首先同大家睇咗 Beer Garden 先，接住落嚟再講下我今期嘅重心場次。
Hi and welcome to another edition of the Beer Garden podcast. Looking forward to the Sunday action at Sha Tin as usual, and joined once again by Sara, Joe and Charene. And are we all well today? Are we all looking forward to Sunday's action then?
We are.
Yes.
Joe's in fantastic form as well, isn't he? Amazing. Amazing.
Always
Joe.
Yes. I don't know about that. We'll see about tomorrow.
Well, hopefully I can have an upturn in fortunes as well. We're looking at two races that are over the straight 1,000 metres. That's race 1 and race 7. And then we also get on to our favourite part of the show, the best bets, followed by our value bet. But without any further ado, let's go straight to race number 1. It is the Class 4 Suhowan Handicap over 1,000 metres or 5 furlongs. And we'll start, as I normally do, with Sara. Who do you like in race number 1, Sara?
I like the 9 here, Cheval Valiant. This 3-year-old gelding is just maturing quite a bit. We get Lyle on this horse. Lyle's been performing quite nicely on here. He's jumping out of barrier 8, which I think is going to be perfect. This horse is just closing in on a win. He's maturing so nicely and really getting great form as such a young horse. And I think the issue here is if this horse gets loose, we could possibly see this horse take on this field really easy. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed. We're going to see a really nice performance out of him. His performances have been great. And I just think as this 3-year-old, he's a bit shocking with how much he's really taken to the track and how he's grown into such a nice horse. So that is the 9 Cheval Valiant.
So Sara goes for number 9, Cheval Valiant, ridden by the excellent Hutchison. And do great minds think alike, Joe?
Yeah, I also went for Cheval Valiant. Sorry, Sara. Yeah, Cheval Valiant was... I think I tipped him a couple of times and he's hit the board, but with Hutchison still retaining the ride, I think, it does have a definite chance and drawn on the outside. Which is what you kind of want on the straight course. Straight course is a little different than ones on the turn because you want to be more closer to the outer rail as opposed to the inner rail. That way you have more space. He is the speed, and as what Sara has mentioned, that you want to be, you might be the one loose on the lead and might not catch him. And we all know that Hutchison is pretty good on the front runners. 3-year-old has yet to get a win, but is still progressing, and hopefully you get some good odds. There's a lot of debutantes in this race as well. So one that in particular, Wonderful Warrior with Joe Moreira, another 3-year-old Casper Founds. Usually that combination's pretty deadly, but same with Hutchison and Douglas White. So number 9, Cheval Valiant for me.
So Joe agrees with Sara and goes for number 9, Cheval Valiant. I predicted before I even saw Joe's selections that he would go for Cheval Valiant. I just knew you would. And it's a very good selection as well. I think I've picked Cheval Valiant in the past as well, and he'll probably win now that I've deserted him. I'm going, we'll start with Charene. I'm getting ahead. I'm so enthusiastic about telling you my horse that I'm forgetting about Charene. I do apologise.
No worries.
Who are you going for?
Yeah, I will go for one of the debutants that are mentioned by Joe. I like number 6, Wonderful Warrior. I just checked his pedigree. He is side by Rich North and side by a Bel Esprit mare. So there is another horse that currently racing in Hong Kong called Scotch Tycoon, who scored 3 winners from 5 stars so far. So I believe that Wonderful Warrior is going to have a bright future in Hong Kong. And also his weight is quite good for a debutant because he is currently 1195 pounds, which will be around 543 kgs. So he is also the biggest one in the whole field in race 1. And it is quite important for a horse racing over the straight course. And also this time jumping from gate 12 will be quite ideal for him. And also previous to his debut, he had 3 barrier trials at Chung Fa and 1 trials at Sha Tin, all well finished with good speed and showing he is now ready for racing or even ready for winning. And this time Joe takes the ride. Joe gets a lot of good rides on Sunday. So hopefully the number 6 Wonderful Warrior in the opener can be Joe's first win on Sunday.
So Charene goes for number 6, Wonderful Warrior. I think Charene quite kind of likes Joe Moreira this Sunday with the selections. Don't want to give it away, of course. So yes, number 6, Wonderful Warrior, and breaking from barrier 12, which is out right up against the paint there of that outside rail. Well, I went for number 5, Sweet Diamond, drawn in the middle of the field, drawn 6 under Hutchison. He was a winner of a couple of trials. He was an encouraging debut when 4th to Run Cool. And that was after a bit of jostling with the debutant Lucky Gore when leaving the gates. The race that day, as I said, was run by Run Cool, which I believe Sara correctly predicted. So well done to Sara. And that was from barrier 1. And Cheval Valiant was second last time, of course, to Flying Season. And Flying Season won from barrier 14. So it just demonstrates on the 5 furlong track that you can really win from any barrier. So just to confirm that Sara and Joe are both in agreement, number 9, Cheval Valiant. Charene is going for the newcomer, and that is number 6, Wonderful Warrior, ridden by Joe Moreira. And I'm hoping to get off a dry run and get back among the winners with number 1, Sweet Diamond, drawn 6 under Hutchison. So that's the opener sorted. Let's now go to race number 7. It's the Czech Lapcock Handicap over, again, the 1,000 metres or 5 furlongs. And we're up in quality here. This is an interesting Class 2 with 9 runners. Who do you go for here, Sara?
This is a really tough race because there's a lot of early speed in this race. And with it being such a short race, you got to really factor that in. But I'm going to take Stoltz here. We're seeing Stoltz come back to this 1,000 meter. He just could not hang at that 1,200 meter range. So he's coming back. So he's trying out this Class 2 yet again, but at 1,000 meters, which I think is just completely suitable. We're going to see a lot out of him. Purton retains the ride for that. He should really chase the pace here. I think we're going to see on the lead is going to be Nervous Witness, who could be a big threat to the entire field. But we have a lot of talent. Really, I think it's a fairly open race. But I like Stoltz. We've seen him run a few times. We've capped the races he's been in, and I've said before that this horse cannot go any further than at that 1,000 meter mark. And so I like to see him here. I like to see the barrier draw with barrier 3. He's performed nicely out of. So I'm going to take my chances that he's going to come back to the form that we know him to be.
So Sara goes for number 2, Stoltz, drawn 3 under Zach Purton. He, earlier in the season, had back-to-back wins at Happy Valley, and then, as Sara alludes to, unplaced since over the 1,200. But it'll be interesting to see if his first time back in trip over this course and distance sparks a revival. Now then, Joe, who did you like in race number 7?
Yeah, I'm pretty much went with the boring pick. I actually picked Nervous Witness in this race because they already tried him out at Happy Valley. He's won at Happy Valley, and he destroyed him by 3 lengths. And I remember last year on debut, he was the talk of one of the biggest hyped horses during the season, especially with Zach Purton. Now, the interesting thing is Blake Shin gets the ride, and he's only won on Zach Purton, but Zach Purton decides to go on Stoltz instead. So interesting booking to have Blake Shin. But I think that he's back in his element on the straight course because that's where he's destroyed him in the past in the last 2 races, and he's only gotten below a third, or he hasn't gotten below a third, especially with Karis Teton, who had the mounts on him before. A lot of short prices. I know he's probably going to be the short price again, but I mean, look, his form is just really, really good, and especially he is the class of the race. He's going to carry 58, but I think if he gets loose, he probably could win it. I mean, the only one that I see that is a threat is the one next to it on the speed, which is Hong Kong Win with Joe Moreira again. Maybe Carroll Street as well, and Stoltz if he could get to the straight course and handle it pretty good. But Nervous Witness just looks like he's in great form right now. Is the class of the race, and I really see it's a really, really tough to beat him. It's his race to win. So Nervous Witness for me.
Joe sounds very confident there, going for number 1 there. Was Witness, drawn 9 under Blake Shin. And Charene, who did you like in race 7, which is also, I believe, your value bet?
Yes, right. I will go for number 4, Hong Kong Win, and he will also be my value bet on Sunday. Because in this race, it is the feature race for the day because Nervous Weakness will be here, and he must be the feature horse. But Nervous Weakness will carry 9 pounds heavier than Hong Kong Win, so I believe that Hong Kong Win has an each way chance because he didn't win for 2 seasons. So this time the rating dropped to 85, which will be the same as his last victory, which was 2 years ago, quite a long time ago. And this time, Hong Kong Win will just carry 119 pounds, which will be quite favorable for him. And last time out, he jumped well, but obviously 1200 meters is never his trip. So going back to the 1000 meters, especially the straight course at Sha Tin, which will be his favorite course and distance. As I still remember that on the New Year Day, the 1st of January, he participated in the course and distance Group 3 Bohemia Sprint Trophy, and he finished 5th, just 2 lengths behind Master H. I think he is still competitive in class 2 on Sunday. Also, Joe Moreira will be riding again, so I will go for another horse by Joe Moreira, which will also be my value bet, number 4, Hong Kong Win in race 7.
So there we go. Charene goes for number 4, Hong Kong Win, drawn 4 under Joe Moreira. Also Sharene's value bet. And yes, Hong Kong Win, and a very suitable name because it is a 4-time winner in Hong Kong. And as I also looked up earlier in the season, he wasn't far behind Master 8, was he? It was a very good 5th in the Bohemia Sprint, and that was back in January. Well, I decided to make this my best bet. I went for number 5, Carroll Street, drawn 1. It means he's a little bit more in the centre of the track, but as I said earlier, you can really win from anywhere. I think he's very interesting, actually. He had a wide trip last time at Happy Valley. Things didn't just go his way. But if you go 3 runs back, he was a highly impressive winner over course and distance. And look who he beat in 2nd, 3rd, 4th and 5th. The likes of Cordyceps 6, Alcari, Super Fortune and Run Cool, who have all been really prolific winners since. He's a very interesting horse, Carroll Street. And I think we can just forget his last run. And what I do like also is he was an impressive barrier trial winner just recently under Vincent Ho, who takes the ride. I do think Nervous Witness is interesting, but up £12 is a fairly significant hike, and as I say, and he's also getting having to give £12 to Carroll Street, which I think could be a tall order, and that might be instrumental in why Zach Purton has deserted him. But who knows? We shall be much the wiser after race 7 on Sunday. So just to confirm, Sara has gone for number 2, Stoltz under Zach Purton. Joe, Nervous Witness, drawn 9 against the rail there on the outside rail under Blake Shen. Charene for the value bet 2, number 4, Hong Kong Win, drawn 4 under Joe Moreira. And I'm making Carroll Street my best bet, and that is under Vincent Ho. So now we go into our best bet section. And Sara, who do you like on Sunday for your best bet?
My best bet comes in at race 9, which is a class 3 over 1200 meters. And I'm going to take the 5 here, Packing Treadmill. We got Purton aboard, hopefully for me. Purton, I think, is on most of my picks. So fingers crossed, at least for me and Charene, that Purton and Moreira do really nicely on Sunday. But this 3-year-old horse has just really shocked the world, I think, with him coming in. He's two for 2 under his belt, but his last time out was just incredibly impressive, taking the win by 2.5 lengths there. I mean, he's going to be chasing that hat trick, and I think he can get it here. It's a tough race. He does get that weight break because he is jumping up in class. And the barrier draw, I think, suits him perfectly. But I just think it was a big question mark is this 3-year-old something special? Because he's just seemed to hit the track in Hong Kong and have just shocked us all. So I'm going to take my chances here, see if Packing Treadmill can get that hat trick. That is 5 and race 9.
So Sara goes to race number 9, number 5, Packing Treadmill, ridden by Zach Purton, 2 from 2, unbeaten. And Purton has actually said it's a tricky draw in a stronger race, so we'll need to do everything right. But who would bet against Zach Purton doing everything right? Joe, who do you like as your best bet on Sunday?
Best bets in the last race, race number 10. It's a 1400 meter race, and I went for number 7, the runner with Matthew Poon. Speaking of Nervous Witness, he ran behind Nervous Witness the last time out back in March at a big price at $21, but didn't perform as well. But I think you could throw that out because the other races before that, he's had a first, a second, a first, and a second. So in form behind that, beating Special M, Winning Method, Sky Forever, or no, sorry, Special M and Sky Forever. So I think going to the Sha Tin course this time, taking the step up in trip should be more suitable. He has one on the 1200 meters. I think that extra 200 meters, especially with him closing in at the end, making that one last run, should benefit him. But the field's pretty tough. He's went up in the ratings pretty fast from class 3 to class 2. So does only get 56 kilos, but he's draw number 1. So I think the runner, especially getting Matthew Poon back, who has had a win on him, beating Special M, should be around there or thereabouts. So I went with number 7 in race number 9, the runner.
I would imagine you get a nice price there, actually. Joe goes for his best bet to the last race on the card, and that is number 7, the runner, drawn nicely in 1 under the Poon train, Matthew Poon. 26 runs since he's tackled 1,400 meters. So it'll be interesting to see if that can spark another win out of the very consistent runner, the runner this season. You're a very good horse. Charene, who do you like as your best bet on Sunday?
Yeah, for my best bet, I will be cheering for Joe Morera again because my best bet will be race 6, the class 4 over 1,400 meters. I like number 3, Arimo. He is quite talented, but he had some setback before, unfortunately. When he was 2 years old, he was sold 620,000 pounds and he was purchased by John Size. So now I believe that everything goes well now because last time out in his debut, he showed a great turn of foot to finish 2nd, just a short head behind another talented horse, Eternal Bloom. So this time, 2nd up on Sunday, he will step up to 1,400 meters. And I believe that the street boss pedigree supports him for a longer distance. Also, over the race for 1,400 meters, horses can be easier to overcome the wide draw. So I will go for number 3, Arimo in race 6, and he will be my best bet on Sunday.
So Sharene's best bet, race number 6, and that is number 3, Arimo, under Joe Morera. Pipped on debut, as Charene says, by Eternal Bloom, and every chance of going one better this time with that experience behind him, breaking from Barry 11. But as Charene says, over the 1,400 metres, maybe not such a big a factor as it would be over the shorter distances. Well, I'm going back to race number 7 for my best bet. I'm hopefully Carroll Street, drawn 1 under Vincent Ho. And that's actually, I was incorrect. It's actually Nervous Witness is conceding £10 and not £12 to Carroll Street. But that's still quite a lot, I think. And Carroll Street is still a rather unexposed horse. I think he's a very, very, very nice horse. And I think this course and distance suits him ideally. And as I said earlier, I think that latest trial over course and distance under Sunday's jockey Vincent Ho bodes very well to his chances. So just to confirm my best bets, Sara goes to race number 9, and that is the unbeaten number 5, Packing Treadmill. Joe, race 10, the runner, stepping up once again, up in trip. Charene goes to race number 6, number 3, Arimo, under Joe Morera, hoping to go one better than his 2nd on debut. And I shall return to race number 7 over the straight 1,000, and that is the rather likeable Carroll Street under Vincent Ho. And now to the final part of the show, our value bets. Sara, who did you like the look of for your value bet?
Mine's going to come in race 4, which is a class 5 over 1,800 meters. And I'm going to take my chances here with 2 Flying Mighty. We get the booking of Purton. So I am taking another Purton mount for the card, but he's jumping from barrier 7, the dropping class. He's dropping yet again. So he does get a bit of a break there, but this horse is just, he's been trying. And I think with the booking of Purton, we're going to see a nice clean run out of him. He just seems to run into trouble here. But I think with his barrier draw, I think with the drop-in class, I think all the factors are there to hopefully get a win in Hong Kong for this horse. He has decent form. He has talent. But let's just see if we can get him a win here. He hasn't run too nicely. But like I said, he always seems to get himself in a bit of trouble. So I'm hoping with Zach aboard, we can see how this horse really does and maybe get him out and get a nice clean run. So that is 2 Flying Mighty and race 4.
So Sarah goes to race number 4, number 2 Flying Mighty for Sarah's value bet. Drawn 7 under Zach Purton. He's a horse that I really thought would have won by now, because early on in his career, he really looked like he was closing on a win. Didn't think he'd be nothing from 17, but it's not too late. Maybe he can get off the mark on Sunday. Joe, who did you like as your value bet?
Value bets in race number 2. I went with Beauty Cheers number 2 with Luke Curry on board, who's back now after sustaining an injury. Now the interesting thing about this one is he trials really, really good, but he can't do it like actually on the track. So he gets wins on his trials, but when it translates over to the actual race, it doesn't look good. He doesn't really perform as well. But he is drawn pole position number 1. They tried him on the all weather. It didn't seem to work out. This is a class 5 race. Anything could happen in a class 5 race as opposed to anything in a class 2, which is a little bit more straightforward, at least compared to a class 5 race. But yeah, I mean, he does have some good performances. 5-year-old gelding, kind of like not really having any overwhelming performance. He had a third in this penultimate run the last time out. So I think he especially this really, really, really wide open class 5 race, I think that the draw is going to matter here for him. And he has a form behind WizKid, Flying Ace, a lot of these great horses that were in class 5 before, class 4. Now he goes back down to class 5. He is going to be the class, and I'm saying class every other word, but yeah. Number 2, Beauty Cheer for me with Luke Curry.
So Joe goes to race number 2, and that is number 2, Beauty Cheers, drawn 1 under the returning Luke Curry. Can he make a winning return? Well, of course he did, didn't he? He spent 3 weeks in quarantine, and then he came straight out and won on the David Hayes trained Miracle Victory. So perhaps lightning can strike twice and he can get back into the winning groove once again. Charene, who did you like as your value bet?
Yeah, for my value bet, going back to race 7 that we just discussed before, I like number 4, Hong Kong Win, because I think that he's now competitive at the current rating of 85, and also he will be just carrying 119 pounds, which will be quite favorable for him. And in race 7, it is going to be an interesting race because there are a lot of course and distance experts here, including Nervous Weakness, and also I believe that Hong Kong Win can bounce back after 2 years that he didn't win for 2 years. So with Joe Moreira on board, I will be confident on him. So number 4, Hong Kong Win will be my value bet in race 7.
So Sharene's value bet goes back to race number 7 with Hong Kong Win, drawn 4 under Joe Moreira. Fascinating race, and it's looking forward to 9 runners, and we've all managed to pick different horses, of course, with Stoltz and Nervous Witness and Hong Kong Win and Carol Street for myself. And I'm looking forward to seeing which one of you finishes second to Carol Street. It'll be really exciting to see what happens there. Anyway, on race number 5 now, I'm going to race number 5 for my value bet, and that is number 9, 6th Generation, drawn 10 under Harry Bentley. I really like this horse. He's only had 4 career starts. He's a likeable sort. His best days are ahead of him, and he was 4th on his last start on his first attempt over the 1400 metres from Barrier 7. I think this is a horse with a nice future. I was also rather scared of another horse, Joyful Genius, another horse I like who's better drawn. I just wonder if Joyful Genius, though, is better at 1200 metres. Zach Purton's on board over the 1400. So if 6th Generation was going to get beat, I'd hopefully not Joyful Genius, because I do like them both. But you have to nail your colours to the mast, and for me it's the number 9, 6th Generation. So just to recap on our value bets, Sarah goes to race number 4, and that is number 2, Flying Mighty, and Joe race number 2 and horse number 2, Beauty Cheers. Charene goes back to race number 7, and that is number 4, Hong Kong Win under Joe Moreira. And I'm hoping that in race number 5, number 9, 6th Generation can get off the mark under Harry Bentley at his 5th attempt. So there we have looked at the 2 races over the 1,000 metres, our best bets and our value bets. I hope you have an enjoyable Sunday, a successful Sunday. Hope we have some winners as well for you. Until we see you again at Happy Valley next Wednesday, Enjoy your weekend and bye for now。
今期嘅重心場次揀到嘅咧就係頭場啊，第一場跑4班嘅1000米直路賽。咁我哋首先睇咗個縱馬步速圖先。今次嘅 A 膽嗰度咧，其實頭先喺 Beer Garden 嗰度咧都已經係有提及過噶啦。我都幾中意隻6號嘅神采勇士，而家用廣東話再介紹多一次啦，同大家望一望啊神采勇士呢一匹初出馬，睇下個血統表先。我哋喺個血統表嗰度所見啦，就係神采勇士父系就係出自 Richnuff， 咁喺香港咧經已有一匹嘅精選威啦，都叫做喺服役初期啦，交到啲好表現出嚟嘅。母線嗰方面啦，出自外祖父嘅就係 Bel Esprit 啊，咁呢類型嘅馬匹啦，都會係啲比較短途啊，比較快可以交到啲走勢出嚟俾大家睇嘅馬匹嚟嘅。其實精選威咧就正正咧就係同神采勇士一樣啦，都係有住呢一個嘅父系成外祖父嘅組合，所以咧我都幾睇好隻神采勇士啦，初出第一鋪已經可以有表現㗎啦，加上抽埋個好檔有速度嘅呢匹馬早段擺到喺前面走嘅話咧，好大機會啦可以一出即刻贏啊，所以喺度 A 膽啦揀到就係6號嘅神采勇士。神采勇士講多少少背景資料俾大家了解下。當呢匹馬2歲嘅時候，就係由方家柏親自買入嘅。而喺匹馬運嚟香港服役之前呢，當時仲喺澳洲嗰陣啦，就係由 Clint Hutchison 名下嘅。咁 Clint Hutchison 呢，就係方家柏個舅仔嚟嘅，亦都係練馬師夏志信個仔啊。而家呢，佢喺每一個禮拜呢，都會有一啲嘅網上節目都會講到香港馬嘅。而家大家呢，都可以撳翻影片內容嗰度呢，有條 link 撳入去都可以睇一睇。我最中意嘅環節啦，就係最特別嘅地方，邀請到前騎師戴勝啊，揀到一啲嘅片段啦，同大家睇翻個重溫啊，兼且咧亦都會係評價下騎師個發揮啊，大家都不妨喺影片內容嗰度啦，撳翻條連結去睇多少少啦。咁其實 B 膽嗰方面咧，就係想搏隻8號嘅專才啊。不過轉頭咧，再同大家介紹到底呢一注飛咧就係點買嘅。咁講翻啊，專才啊，其實今季季初嘅時候咧，亦都曾經咧試過喺直路賽嗰度啦，交到個好強勁嘅後勁咁追上嚟跑過第4。之後咧個健康咧方面曾經有少少棘過嘅。咁但係咧近期咧試翻啲閘咧，其實個走勢都唔算係話太差。上一次咧，我覺得係有少少藉口嘅，因為咧入到去轉彎啊、入彎嘅時候咧，有少少嘅意外啊，有啲碰撞影響到佢個走勢。今次咧俾多一次機會佢先，同埋留意到佢啦，今次就轉咗啲配備啊，第一次加個眼罩上陣，希望呢一個配備都可以為佢帶來正面嘅幫助。咁所以喺度啦，8號嘅專才啊，都係揀到嚟做 B 膽嘅。配腳嗰度啦，呢度有揀到3匹馬啦。首先就包翻隻9號嘅不可擋，都見到啦。最近啊跑啲直路嘅賽事嚟計啦，早段佢擺到喺前面走之後啦，臨尾嗰個末段咧都係慢慢咁樣有所進步嘅。咁其實佢最近咧都叫做話係出自一啲即係比較強啲嘅對手對過佢哋啦，包括就係隻萬事有啊上一場啦，其實佢係即係第2名過終點，萬事有嗰組跑第4咧，咁甚至乎頭馬隻神速奔馳咁再出都係有啲表現，我就幾中意佢上場嗰個走勢嘅。咁今次啦就即係不可擋咧，個檔都幾好跑啊，8檔起步，預期咧佢未必夠隻神采勇士快嘅，咁大家可以一齊到時候貼住條外欄嘅位置咧，都係有機會翻到嚟啊。咁所以9號嘅不可擋喺呢度咧頭場都係一定要拖住噶啦。接住落嚟嗰匹咧就冷門少少啦，11號嘅投資有利，其實佢都有翻咁上下質素嘅呢匹馬，咁不過就暫時咧都可能仲係適應緊嘅階段啦。其實上一次咧臨場咧亦配咗俾賀銘年之後啦，表現方面咧有啲驚喜嘅。講到嘅最重要嘅一個因素咧就係早段嘅時候有前速啦，夠快啊。今次啦縮程落嚟跑最短途嘅1000米直路賽，早段咧都係希望佢可以有咁快得咁快，盡量咧搶到係一個主動啲嘅位置嘅話咧1000米呢一匹馬絕對係有權可以帶到翻嚟啊！冷門嘅話喺度一定要拖住啦，就係11號嘅投資有利。然之後啦，最後一匹嘅配腳啦，減匹質身少少啦，5號嘅鑽石寶寶，今個禮拜日咧將會係第2次上陣嘅。其實佢上一次初出之前咧試閘嗰啲功夫啊，都已經係做好晒噶啦。只不過咧上次出閘就慢一慢啦，縮咗喺後面嚟跑，但係唔緊要，末段咧都交到個應有嘅追勢上嚟，衝翻個第4。初出嘅表現嚟計咧，絕對唔會太差。嚟到今次啦，第2次上陣啦，預期如果交到啲進步嘅走勢嘅話咧，喺呢度嘅2重彩啊，或者係3重彩啊嗰啲配腳嘅話咧，大家都可以擸埋隻5號嘅鑽石寶寶。好，總結咗頭場先 ，A 膽咧就會係揀到初出嘅6號神采勇士 ，B 膽要到8號嘅專才，3匹嘅配腳先後我嘅次序嘅揀到9號嘅不可擋，11號嘅投資有利同埋5號嘅鑽石寶寶。 至於今次嘅投注方面咧，亦都會比較特別啲嘅，因為咧揀到總共係揀咗5匹馬啦，咁所以咧除咗買2重彩之餘咧，亦都想投注埋個3重彩啊。講咗2重彩個買法先啊，單色馬膽啊6號嘅神采勇士行頭啦，希望佢係會跑第一嘅，配腳都係拖翻鑽石寶寶專才不可擋同埋投資有利。至於3重彩啦，個買法同樣都係一樣嘅，單色馬膽嘅方法啦，6號嘅神采勇士，因為咧我都幾睇好咧，佢係可以初出即刻贏噶啦。好，禮拜日嘅重心場次咧就同大家分析完啦，其他場次嘅心水睇翻我 Facebook 專頁 YouTube 社群，又或者咧大家加入眾馬聊天室一齊傾馬啦。禮拜日最緊要同大家一齊中馬，一齊贏多啲啦，拜拜。